Doc, just wanted to update you on a friend that we talked about earlier, his dizziness, nausea, and just collapsing or blacking out occasionally. That pretty much gets you out of any kind of CDL license ever.
Yes.
You won't be driving a truck, a car, or anything else.
Not
You can't
legally
control
anyway.
that, right? There you go. He's finally able to get an MRI of his neck, and they found that he has a cyst in his nasal cavity located between his eyes. Okay, so let me go through this now. I'm thinking of nerves and how they cross over there. All right. Unfortunately, the ear, throat, nose specialist, ENT, says they do not operate on these cysts. Therefore, he is just shit out of luck. Still suffering for almost a year. Do you have any other direction he can follow? Yeah, start here. I'd run an IUP. That's what I do. Right? So in my world, stress is the cause of all disease and all dysfunction. The two doctors that formally stated it were up for a Nobel Prize for medicine for it. I do not have a Nobel Prize, therefore I'm like, sounds good to me. It's never been disproven. It's never been successfully challenged. We know it's a medical fact. That's it. Stress causes everything, and it comes in 3 flavors. That's all you got to deal with. There's a mechanical flavor to it, an accident, a trauma. In this case, you've got a tumor, but there's no mechanical trauma that you mentioned in this little story. There may be more upon questioning. But the idea is that, all right, look for that. If that's not there, then you have to go and say, okay, what's next? M-E-N, the E, the emotional side of things. Is there some energetic, emotional thing that went on that forced the body to physically respond to it? A lot of weird autoimmune things, tumors, cysts, jump up that way. A lot of them do. It's surprising how many come that way. The N then in men, that triangle, right? We're always looking at this thing. The M in there, or the N, is the nutritional side, the poison toxin side. Is there any chance a poison, a toxin, a hormone, something of that nature could be feeding this bear and creating a cyst of that nature? Yes. It has to be one of those 3. There's no exception to that rule. It can be a combination of them, but it must at least be one. Start there then. Look there. See if you cannot find some obvious answer there. There's a signal going to that tissue. The tissue's responding a certain way, and then you're getting dysfunction. All right, start there. That's what I would do. I would begin with that and say, can I send a different signal to it? Hence what we talked about earlier, Paulie, epigenetics.
Yes.
Can I send a different signal to the tissue and allow the tissue to respond differently? What it's currently doing is wrong. All right, then give it a different signal and see if it won't reverse that and get it to go away. And again, that's if the cyst even has anything to do with it. Because if you're describing it the way you are, I would think there would be massive, massive vision problems. Because there's an optic chiasm right behind there, which is where you're telling me this is at, and it sits there. If you're not getting massive visual disturbances, problems in your field, blacking out to the whole right or the left side of vision where you can only see straight ahead, if you're not getting those things, I'm looking at this cyst saying like, it's probably been this since you was a kid and harmless. It's probably not your cause.